लेट्स स्टार्ट फर्स्ट चैप्टर कंप्यूटर सिस्टम ओवरव्यू, जिसमें हमें हार्डवेयर एंड सॉफ्टवेयर के बारे में बताया गया है और बताया गया है जो फिजिकल स्ट्रक्चर होता है कंप्यूटर का वो कंप्यूटर कंपोनेंट्स कहलाता है, एंड जो लॉजिकल स्ट्रक्चर होता है कंप्यूटर का उसको हम कंप्यूटर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बोलते हैं। There are 5 types of computer components. First is input unit, which is responsible for taking input from the user and giving it to the computer. The input devices are like keyboard, mouse, microphone, magnetic ink character reader, MICR, optical mark reader, OMR, optical character reader, OCR. Next is output unit, which is responsible for taking input from computer and giving output to the user in the user readable form. And output devices are like monitor, printer, speaker. The next is central processing unit. It also has 3 subcomponents. First is arithmetic logical unit, ALU, which is responsible for doing all the arithmetics and logical operations. Arithmetic operations are like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the logical operations are like greater than equal to, less than equal to, less than, greater than, or comparing the two values, in which computer has to decide whether it is true or false. Then next subcomponent is control unit, which control and guides the interpretation, flow, and manipulate all the data and information, and it is responsible for deciding which operation is to be performed next. And even more, control unit is responsible for controlling the flow of data from input devices to memory and from memory to output devices. Then third subcomponent is registers. Registers are basically there in computers to temporarily hold some important processing information or some part of data or some memory addresses or some instructions in them. Fourth component is primary memory, or we can also call it as main memory. There are 3 types of main memory. First is RAM, random access memory. The main drawback of RAM is that it is volatile. That is, अगर light चली गई, then all the data of RAM will get erased. There are 2 types of RAM, dynamic RAM and static RAM. Dynamic RAM is made up of transistors and capacitors, while static RAM is made up of flip-flops and offer faster access time than the dynamic RAM. Then second is read-only memory. As the name implies, it does not have capability to write. It is non-volatile memory and it is slower than the RAM. There are 5 types of ROM available. First is PROM, programmable ROM. It is also called as one-time programmable. Then is erasable programmable ROM, EPROM, in which the data is erased with the help of UV radiation. Third is double EPROM, electrically erasable programmable ROM. In it, data is erased electrically, which is faster than the EPROM. Then comes next is flash double EPROM, and last is mask ROM. In mask ROM, content is pre-programmed by the IC manufacturer and user cannot program this ROM. Last is cache memory. It is spatial high-speed storing mechanism. Just suppose if CPU is looking some data and if it finds in cache, then it will not access the main memory and hence the process becomes very fast. Last computer component is secondary storage unit. For example, hard disk is a magnetic media. Compact discs, CD and DVD are the optical media. Pen drive, pen drives are the flash memory. And nowadays there is Blu-ray disc. Then हमें मोबाइल सिस्टम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में बताया गया है. It consists of mobile processor, also called as the mobile CPU, and then the display subsystem, camera subsystem, mobile system memory. It also contains RAM and ROM, same as the computer system, and then the external storage devices and power management system, which is battery. Then types of software. We have 2 types of software, system software and the application software. System software can further classified into operating system and the language processor. We have single user operating system, multi-user operating system, time sharing operating system, real-time operating system, and the multi-processing operating system, etc. Then second category is language processor. We also further classified language processor into assembler, compiler, and the interpreter, which is different for different languages. Like C language has different set of processors than the Java language. Second type of software is application software, which can be further subdivided into four categories: packages, utilities, customized software, and the developer tools. Packages like word processing software like MS Word, spreadsheets, and database management system like MS Excel and MS Access, desktop publishing software and graphics multimedia presentation applications like MS PowerPoint and Paint. Then utility software are like text editor, backup utility, compression utility, disk defragmenter, and the antivirus softwares. Then under customized software are the business software which differ from one business to another business. Like for reservation, Indian Railways has its reservation system while airlines have their reservation systems for financial accounting and hotel management. There are different types of customized softwares which are just particular to their business. And lastly is the software library. Software library is a predefined and available to use suite of data and programming code in the form of pre-written codes or functions or scripts or classes which can be used for development of new software programs and applications like NumPy, numerical Python, SciPy, scientific Python, and the Panda library. थैंक यू गाइस फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो। अगर आपको अच्छी लगी हो वीडियो तो आप लाइक करें, मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें एंड कमेंट करके मेरे को प्लीज़ बताइए वीडियो आपको कैसी लगी। थैंक यू, बाय बाय, हैप्पी लर्निंग गाइस।